Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Excellency Light League. We apologize for that long pause there, but we're getting back into it here. Game 3 now of Degenerates Reformed versus ReDefy Unleashed. I'm your play-by-play caster Zephyr, joined by Pwn Star Shibi as my color.
Yeah, and an exciting game two, a lot closer than game one for sure. But it felt like, Degenerates Reformed was always kind of in the driver's seat. That gold loot was slowly ballooning. It was a 1.5K, then it became a 2K, then it became a 3K. As we get into draft, we don't have time to talk about game two. And what are you expecting the draft? What are you expecting the bans from ReDefy? The Thresh, the Yorick, of course. Are they going to ban this Cho'Gath?
I don't know. Adderall seems to be a presence no matter what champion you put him on. I'd love to see the Cho'Gath come through, but I need to see some strength on all of these lanes here. And I think you need to also continually focus down Fox Zero. Fox Zero is still a major presence here for the side of Degenerates Reformed. And if you leave a ban open for him, it's going to be rough. So the Tristana coming through, absolutely what we want to see.
Hecarim being banned. So pretty standard bans across the board being traded. Nothing has really changed other than the Yorick ban. So now what does ReDefy B1 here? That is the question. Do they B1 the Rel? Do they give themselves, a stronger jungler?
Seraphine possibly to come through on the blue side. Yeah.
Seraphine's banned, no?
Oh, I'm blind. Don't worry. These glasses do nothing for my soul.
It's okay. I mean, the Seraphine's not there, but it can pick something else. Not too many powerful picks really left up. Oh my god.
So the aggression, they're looking to take it toe to toe now. Danny Phantom wants the fight in his house. How is Adderall going to respond? Hopefully with a Malphite, just for the memes.
It's probably going to be the Cho'Gath. They have a lot of time, but I want to see them R1, R2, Rel right now. Just Rel Kaisa. Rel Kaisa.
That doesn't look like a Rel. It looks a bit more pincery and insect-like than the Rel. Still just as tough and hard with the engage, and something that Hot S'mores does like to play though.
Yeah, he has been known to play this corner. Has been really good on it. Degenerates Reformed is not going to lock this in, right? I don't like this 80 carry, especially when so many good ones are up right now. Unless they're going for this weird
They got
comp.
a different comp online, man. They're sitting game
No,
three saying,
they faked us out.
All right, Adderall. I like this. You heard the message loud and clear here from Danny Phantom, and you say, let's go. Let's take it. Gloves off. We've had enough of the tank on tank matchup. We want the damage on damage.
Yeah, and Urgot, no slouch in tower pushing. This guy can push towers too with his W, man. I mean, he gets that. This is right up Adderall's wheelhouse. But I really like the challenge coming in from Degenerates Reformed, not going for this tank, going for the Urgot into Darius matchup, a very volatile matchup in of itself, can swing either way with just one kill. And as these top lanes have been going, it feels like Adderall has really been, gifting these kills as we've been seeing. And Darius is a champion that can do a lot more with these free kills than something like the Kennen, something like the other picks that he's been picking. So we'll see ReDefy finally picking up that Udyr. I've been waiting for it. I mean, it's one of the best junglers still, getting a minor nerf at 11.7, but guys, this guy clears really fast still. As we see, are they really going to go for the Ashe?
I'd be surprised. Fox Zero does not play on those immobile carries, and while we did see the Varus earlier this series, it shows when you throw him on something like Vayne, when you get him on the Kai'Sa, when you get him on the Tristana, it's a different level. But the Ashe is what he's running, so he's got the secured hard engage through that enchanted crystal arrow, so we'll have to wait and see. It's a lot of team reliance, though.
You want to see Degenerates kind of ban out more hard engage stuff, right? Udyr is the only one that can really flash Bear Slap. You want to see them maybe ban out the Rel, maybe the Alistar. They banned the Anivia out, which is fine. I do think Anivia was a bit of a problem. Cute Kitten was piloting that champion very well. ReDefy bans the Victor, of course, but they have to ban the Sylas, I think. That Sylas, although it was getting caught out, it was just so good in taking everything. As we see them ban the Tahm Kench. They don't want to see a Senna Tahm Kench lane, the fasting Senna from ReDefy. Right. So a very good ban. I like it. It just preventing more team comps, forcing the Senna to play possibly ADC or even fast with like a set or something else that's not as good. ReDefy bans the Alistar for themselves, which is interesting. I didn't feel like Fruit Loops was performing too well on the Alistar, but I guess they fear it nonetheless.
Yeah, it was still aggressive into the face of them, but it played a lot off of Fox Zero's Bane. So definitely still one of those available things to get rid of. I will say, Rel's still on the board. You still got champs like Leon and Not, maybe if he wants to go down that route. Silas, though, still up for the side here of Crimvale, but looking for the double Frailord in the bot lane. Slow on top of slow on top of slow. Braum and Ash running it.
And Braum is getting got quite a bit of buffs. He got a little bit extra knock up on his R and also his wall or his door. You know, the E gets also a little bit less cooldown reduction. The door, the wall,
I was
whatever
about
you
to say,
want.
how often does someone remind me that that is actually a door?
Yeah, I mean it's a nice door of all things.
It's a door.
Right?
It's an enchanted door. All right. Either way, Lux coming out here to secure what looks to be. I'm curious. Does that end up on Lemon Soda? Does it find its way onto Kitten?
We're about to find out, but I think it's gonna go into the mid lane. I don't know if you want to run Senna Lux. I don't really like that lane combination as much. Would have loved to see more of a Caitlyn Lux if you're gonna go for that heavy poke dominance lane going into the Ashe. It feels like Lux is just so vulnerable in the bot lane against Ashe Braum. Once they hit level 6, it's like, what can you really do? As it does look like it is going into the mid lane. It looks like it's gonna be fasting Senna with Malphite, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, it could be a Malphite mid for all we know. As Vladimir is picked, and this is going into the mid, right? 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's a mid lane pick, and that is something that Crimvale has played before.
And really, Crimvale allowed to, you know, kind of scale up. This Vlad pick isn't that bad. I mean, even if it's like, who is it going to be in the mid lane? Lux or Malphite, right? He's going to be allowed to farm a lot. He's going to be allowed to get his items. You know, Vladimir, somebody that can bridge that late game that Degenerates Reforms kinds of needs on the side, as Ashe is not a high damage AD carry, more of a utility based ADC, especially with the Braum on her back. So we're gonna look to Urgot Vladimir to do a lot of the damage. Right. Degenerates Reform seems like they have kind of a pick comp. It's not necessarily 5v5 team fight, right?
Yeah, you get the lockdown playing off of the Impale there from the side of Hot S'mores, then or even you play around what is a hard engage with Enchanted Crystal from Fox, or even maybe knock up from Braum, and then you pull it back and it's an immediate destruction from the absurd burst that's going to come through the Vlad into what can be the shutdown from Fear Beyond Death. And to be honest, it all has sustained damage. You can run Urgot into a middle of a team fight. It's going to be disgusting. You're going to have Ashe with the Ranger's focus constantly locking on to target after target, and you never want the Vladimir on top of you. I feel like this team has a very clear cut and dry. They'll get one major pick, and then they'll continue to wrap up and collapse on the team fight after the team fight. I'm still super confused, though, on the ReDefy draft. That is quite the interesting comp.
Well, it looks like what they're going for is kind of this burly comp with a lot of survivability, right? With the, you know, the Darius, with the Malphite, with the Senna heals. It looks like they're kind of going for this pseudo, you know, Malphite ults in, then Lux can combo with her spells, like throw her E out, throw her Q out, get the R out, the final spark. And it feels like, you know, they can try to look to impact the map from far away with the Senna ultimate. Darius is, I mean, I think it has to go into the top lane. And I feel like, you know, the Udyr is just there to kind of, you know, he was really good on the Volibear, and Udyr getting those 5-6 kills, he's much more of a menace, can jump onto the backline, can E in, chem tank, flash, you know, can really look to be a nuisance and get to fights and get to lanes sooner. Embigon has been playing pretty well this series, but just hasn't been able to translate his leads into a victory for his team. Well, Hot S'mores has kind of always been on the back foot, but has been just making the right macro decisions and, you know, securing objectives, playing around his lanes that have, you know, priority and all this stuff. And he's been playing really well in that asset and that facet, where Embigon is more lane focused, Hot S'mores is more, you know, objectives and what can I get here, what can I punish here.
And sometimes that works out for them, sometimes it's not. And it's something that ReDefy can play around. We need to see presence from Gone. I feel like that's the takeaway from all of that. Gone needs to be in the face of whether it be Adderall or Crimvale or even possibly Fox here to shut that lane down. If he's not, these laners do not get ahead on the lane-to-lane matchup. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it, right? It's shown time and time again that the skill ceiling definitely favors Degenerates Reform. So Gone needs to be there to kind of turn those tides. And while we've seen it, you know, ebb and flow, maybe into the top lane a couple times, maybe a few good ganks. That Volibear was the real pinnacle of what Gone was capable in game one. And it's a shame they didn't find the win in that first game. But either way, if he doesn't, the rest of this comp slowly collapses in on itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it looks like actually we are going for the Senna Lux bot lane. This is a Malphite mid. I don't really know how it fares into the Vlad. I feel like, whenever Malphite wants to Q, Vlad can just heal it up. Vlad has the range advantage as well, can always heal up with his empowered Q. And it feels
Goes
like,
against what Mal wants to build too. Mal's an armor stacking powerhouse, and Vlad's just gonna
might see
shred
the
you.
AP, might see AP Malphite, that
Oh,
big
yeah.
burst Malphite. I mean, if they
Good,
go for
good.
that.
Less armor, more destruction from Crimvale. That's what I like to hear. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it feels like they never have kill pressure onto the Vladimir just because if he's timing it right, Vladimir just pulls the ultimate from Malphite and the flash bear slap, so he can just get out scot free. But
Right.
really, what is your marquee matchup here? I want to say for mine it's top lane, but you might have a different opinion.
Oh, they've fooled us. Boys, they've fooled us. Cute Kitten's on the Darius and Phantom is on the Mal. This is what I like to see better. All right. This plays into the favor of the side of ReDefy for the top lane, especially because while Danny Phantom may have some struggles early, if he eeps it out, Adderall won't be able to really take presence on him consistently. And if he actually manages to get a few kills from Gone, then he's in a way far better position. And personally, while I don't like the Darius routing into mid on Cute Cannon, it's better than the Malphite. It's more contestable. You can play into the Vlad, and you can even go for a bit of a trade towards that early. Like I said, it's a stacking matchup for both sides now. You're waiting on Crimvale to activate. You're waiting for Phantom to activate. If they don't, then Adderall gets the go-ahead, and Cute Kitten gets the go-ahead. And it's really a toss-up on the skill-to-skill base, and we got to see Hot and Gone play into this.
It feels like ReDefy is kind of lacking on the damage side as well, right? Malphite's not going to build a lot of AP in the top lane. I presume he's going to go tank. Udyr really only has the Phoenix tank, but he's Phoenix stance, but he's only going to go, chem tank and everything. So it's very AD heavy on the side of ReDefy. So Degenerates Reform can kind of get away with building a little bit more armor and negating a lot of the damage that's going to come out from LSD, Love, and Darius, and LFQ Kitten. But if Darius can kind of get these resets off of these Danny Phantom engages and Senna poke and everything like that, then he'll become a very a force to be reckoned with. And like you mentioned, it's Vladimir coming online. We're gonna look to Skarner to once he gets 6, he's gonna power farm, he's gonna flash and impale somebody. I like to say he's gonna kidnap him, put him on a milk carton, Zephyr, as I like to say, pull you 3 screens away. Put him in on a milk cart, and we're going to see what he can do. He's been very effective on this champion before. I think this is the first time we are seeing the Urgot Adderall, though. Adderall Urgot. So I'm going to see how he performs on this. Not his Cho'Gath, not his Yorick, but definitely somebody that can split and, like I said, can kind of destroy or, really just take over turrets and just kind of push the top lane as he so much loves to do.
True that. All that being said, though, it's going to be left up to these guys to hopefully take us through to a next game, ReDefy especially. That being said, it's only one game for Reformed, baby. One game from winning it all here in Light League. We'll be right back as we make our way towards the Rift. Stick around and stay tuned for potentially the finale. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Excellency's Light League. We're bringing you game 3 here of ReDefy Esports versus Degenerates Reformed. I'm your play-by-play caster Zephyr, joined by the lovely color, Bone Star Shibi.
Yeah, and game 2 was pretty exciting. Game 1 was probably the most exciting we saw, but game 2 was close, neck and neck with, Degenerates Reform just coming out on top, getting those 5v5 team fights, and now with the Braum, they're going to go for this invade.
They find themselves on the love immediately. The concussive blows, stacking up, stun on top. Kill onto Crimvale to get us rolling.
Oh, man, getting Crimvale early, getting him, amped up on this. Vladimir is just so good, right? Gets the 2 stacks onto the Dark Seal. We'll probably look to start putting that into his Magi as we see Adderall face checking here.
Right, Danny Phantom and Gone possibly could look for something. They do get that knock pulled back there in a flash out of Adderall. That's something to look forward to, especially if you're Gone looking to play off some kills here later.
Yeah, and Adderall blowing his flash now. He doesn't have to blow it later when he gets ganked top after he's overextending once again. But we'll see if he actually even plays around it. This man is auto-pushing the lane as much as he can. He wants to get as much turret damage as he can now. But, Vladimir able to back, buys the Doran's ring. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. Would have loved to see him go maybe for the Amp Tome. I believe the First Blood gives you 450 gold, but it was probably split amongst his peers. So probably had to go for the Doran's ring. Gotta see how he fares into this Darius. Darius going the Flash Ghost as well, so we'll be unable to match any of the TPs that Crimvale has. So on the side of Degenerates Reform, they have essentially a TP advantage consistently. They can almost always 5-man bot, whereas Darius is kind of just left to run down or look to push mid. As we're gonna see, pretty standard clears on the side of, Udyr and Skarner. Obviously, Udyr clears.
I'm watching this top side, man. That clear is going to rotate immediately into the hands of Adderall. You don't think for a second that Gone isn't going to take advantage of that flash?
Yeah, I think he's going to go clear this blue buff. Not even clear his Grump. He goes buff, camp buff, it looks like. It's only level 2, actually.
Immediately there into the stun onto Adderall. Reminder, he doesn't have flash. Tiger stance, bear, instant kill for Gone. That's the rotation we've been waiting for from ReDefy.
And a really good play from MB Gone, switching up his pathing a little bit. I don't know if I necessarily agree with not full clearing, but hey, it got the kill onto Adderall. It got everything that he needed. Now he's going to take this 3. He might just 3-buff Skarner here.
I think he absolutely does, and I don't think Hot S'mores can do anything about it. Skarner is not the hottest tempo here when it comes to the clear, but he does spot himself out there. The smite comes through, and he actually manages to pick up that red. Now Gone in a poor position as Adderall is up, but Kitten does have that rotation. Comes through, gets the double pull. That armor is low. Hot S'mores taken out immediately. Adderall and Crimvale on top of Cute Kitten quite aggressively. The pool is now officially down, but the stacking bleed takes out Adderall. He transitions that straight on over to Gone as he goes down, but Crimvale is taken out at least in response. So it's 1 for 3, though, in favor of ReDefy.
Yeah, and we saw Darius kind of roam up, put the ward onto the blue buff, and it was a 3v2 for a little bit, but Darius just able to survive so long with his Q heal, and obviously Udyr is just such a menace, can run around with his phase rush and live super long. Skarner, unfortunately, as we see, maybe another kill.
Love here, the Ranger's focus is able to proc that concussive blows, and that's going to be that early cleanse here on the LSD Love, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out for the future of this bot lane, but stacking CC is something that Flute and Fox here are going to prey upon through and through this game.
Yeah, and now Darius kind of has the double buffs. Vladimir kind of losing his lead that he kind of had onto Darius. They're both, 2 kills. Darius with the 1 assist now, a little bit higher in CS, and Urgot's 0-2 now. Only 5 CS for this man, opposed to the Malphite 16.
Yeah, and it only gets worse for Adderall here. This is the best chance for him to make a statement in this top side. It only gets super hard for him into the face of Danny Phantom to play this lane matchup. So definitely a bit weaker, and hopefully maybe we'll see the rotation through from Adderall, or possibly he'll run us back with that split pushing he's so known for.
Yeah, and it feels like there's going to be a lot of attention given to this top and mid, right? The Darius pick. Look at Udyr just hovering around. Skarner trying to hit 6 as soon as possible, getting camps that he can, and that trade onto Crimvale is actually in the favor of LFQ Kitten with the red buff, with the blue buff, can look to go for these aggressive trades as Malphite is kind of shoved under turret. Looks like I mean, Skarner is hovering, so Adderall can kind of play a little bit more aggressive, clearing out wards. Yeah, but Skarner needs to like really hit 6. He needs to rotate his camp sufficiently. He needs to take his golems. He needs to take his.
Oh, he's still gonna go, apparently. I mean, doesn't quite find it. Gon was on the side there. I don't know if they spotted him out on that one. No, they definitely do now, and the pullback comes through onto Crimvale. Pool is still up. I saw that go down just a few seconds ago. I'm so surprised it was already available, but hey, pays to the advantage.
Yeah, and really the kill pressure is gone. Oh my.
They don't care, man. Gon is still stuck in this lane. They know aggression is the name here for this best of 5. And honestly, that's what you got to do if you're ReDefy. This is what we've been waiting for. We need to see hard carries like Cute Kitten get to a point where they are indomitable, that they cannot be responded to, and Gon's trying to make that happen.
Yeah, and just shoving in the wave, letting Cute Kitten get a nice reset off, buying the Merc Shreds into the Kindle Gem. I would have loved to just see him sit on the Null Magic Mantle, because when you're upgrading from Boots to, you know, Merc Shreds, the only thing you're really getting is the tenacity. You're not getting a bump in Magic Resist, so I'd just love to see him go early Magic Resist, the Null Magic Mantle, and buy something else personally, but you know, maybe he values, you know, the Skarner CC possibly, and the Ashe and the Braum. So there's a lot of CC on the side of Degenerates Reformed as a whole, so maybe he might be looking into the future and not that, you know, lane matchup generally. Well, as we see the signature dragon coming out from Degenerate.
The future is now, buddy. The dragon is in favor here of Hotsmores. They pick that one up for Degenerates Reform, but the team fight's looking worse, whereas Flute Loops is taken low. Crimvale, though, on the side is able to find that kill off the pulling bleed there onto MB Gon, and that dissuades everything from continuing there. So Crimvale continuing to stack that lead on Vlad.
Yeah, and he's picking up 3 kills now. And the scariest thing is a fed Vlad in the early game. This guy will just take over games. You know, he will one-shot your carries. If he can get his Hemo Plague onto everybody, can get that massive E onto the back line, I mean, there's nothing you can really do about it. And he's just going to burst everybody down, and he's going to be that much stronger coming into the mid-game. Vlad, typically known obviously as a late-game champion, but getting him this accelerated this early on is going to be very detrimental. And we know what Crimvale does with kills, right? We've seen him perform on the Victor. We've seen him perform on the Silas. Like, he is no slouch.
He might get caught out, but he won't be in your face, though. I mean, he'll still be in your face, though, as he goes down, and that's usually led to a couple dissuading team fight numbers advantages from Crimvale there. So he is pulled back. He is going to be hard aggressed on here, but look at that heal. Look at that pull. Cute Kitten is going to have a harder and harder time into this mid lane. That's what we talked about in draft. The scaling potential from Crimvale will slowly outpace Kitten no matter what. And while they did have a great early game, we need to see more rotations from Kitten to make use of that Darius as this lane goes further, or possibly a rotation from Gon. On the flip side, Danny Phantom now on the scaling side is starting to get harder and harder for Adderall to find success into. So waiting on him of all people as well. So exactly playing out how we discussed.
Yeah, Skarner level 6 now. Another invade into the jungle. This is dead.
Dead. D-E-A-D. Dead.
Done. And really, they're really trying to put the pressure on the Hotsmores, invading his jungle aggressively with this Udyr, which is really what you like to see, and his laner is really helping it out. First time it was mid lane, this time it is top lane with the ultimate, and really Malphite doesn't lose anything off of that. He's still a level and a half, roughly a level up on Adderall, about, you know, 8 CS, and he's just going to continue to look to push his advantage as we see.
Here comes Gon. They can't quite get on top of Crimvale, though. He's able to spot that one out a little early from the side there, and Hotsmores is trying to eep his way into some of these lanes, but like you said there, he's constantly being punished out. Gon's doing a great job countering the jungle through and through and making sure he can't quite hit it, but he does have 6. He is that Impale bot need be at this point, so just got to play around that.
Yeah, I think Crimvale is the win condition right now. I mean, obviously, Ashe and Braum a little bit ahead of this Senna and Lemon Soda, and we know what Fox Zero can do, but he is on Ashe, more utility-based AD carry. Was able to perform on the Varus. Don't get me wrong, his positioning was very good, so we'll see how he performs. We'll be able to kite out the Darius and the Udyr, so Ashe isn't a really horrible pick, but man, this Malphite is just going to ult onto you every single time, you have to believe.
Absolutely, and we'll have to wait and see where Danny Phantom puts his potential. Hopefully it's going to be on Fox here, but that's a big flash from Flute Loops to try to get the knock. Doesn't quite find it, but they turn their attention to LSD Love. Donna's Shadow comes out immediately, and then Pale and the teleport as well. ReDefy is looking for that collapse. They continue their attention with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow on the LSD Love. Gets the response for the 2-man, but now the whole team responds here as ReDefy actually looks to pull back and escape out of this one. It's just going to be 80 carry for 80 carry.
And the target focus is really bad on the side of Skarner. Looked to pull the Lux, but had no damage follow-up.
Wow. Crimvale, we talked about a lead, but that is something more. 10 minutes in, he's already looking that nasty on the Vladimir.
Yeah, and that's practically...
Oh. I
Fear
mean,
Beyond Death misses.
You know, it feels you're not gonna use it against Danny Phantom, so you might as well.
I mean, throw it out, you know, for the long range Kobe. But really, that's practically a kill because Q Kitten doesn't have teleport, has to walk back to lane. But it looks like they might dive this. No, they're not.
Lemon Soda's there. They can't really dive that one out. Crimvale, while he is strong, he isn't, you know, Vladimir dive potential strong just yet.
Yeah, and now this bot lane is left for the 1v1, and I believe Santa can just kind of outrange the leash Ashe if she doesn't eat too many. But now, attention towards this Rift Herald. They are stronger right now with this Udyr, and I think this is one of the first Rift Heralds going over to ReDefy this series. I believe Degenerate Esports has gotten all the early ones, from my opinion, ones before 14 minutes.
Yeah, they've been able to take most of the early ones into their pockets, so they're getting the response here onto this Rifty, but I do remind you that Dragon's up in 20, and that gives away the fact that MB Ghana is topside. If they want to pull something quick under the hands here in the next 10 to 30 seconds onto this rotation, then this is the time period. But I think
looks like they're just going to settle for some plates. But Skarner is backing. He's not there in time, but Vlad does have the priority in the lane, can kind of pressure any vision control that ReDefy is looking to get. We see even Adderall is just walking down. Oh my, this is new.
I feel like we meme it up a little too much, but Adderall definitely wants to play to the team, and he's going to be making that apparent here on the Dragon, especially since he doesn't have TP this time. Shibin, ooh, big whiff on the pole there from Cute Kitten and Crimvale. He's going to take advantage of this one. He can't quite find the Enchanted Bleed when he needs it, but you know what? That's fine. He'll save it. He'll save it.
And all cooldowns are up for the side of both teams. The Fear Beyond Death coming back out to use it in the mid lane. Really, the ultimate advantage is going to be on the...
Oh, Danny Play gets that knock up on the Crimvale. The Hema Plague is thrown down quite early there, but it could be for the best here. ReDefy immediately takes on a big flash from Q-Kin. He's under turret, tries to throw down the guillotine, but he can't even find that kill as the turret takes that one. Meanwhile, Hot S'mores secures the Mountain Drake. No contention. And the rest of the team now rotating up. There's an Enchanted Crystal Arrow with the Fear Beyond stacked up onto that one. Immediate suppression, immediate pullback for Adderall. 2 kills in favor here of Degenerates Reform as they push in this mid.
And really good Fear Beyond Death. Really good situational awareness from Fox Zero. Not the guy to really see to start your fights off, but understands his role as Ashe. Understands that, hey, you know, I see a pick here. Go, 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 go. Presses the go button on the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and is able to pick up that extra kill on a very greedy recall from LSD Love, if I were to say. Didn't even have his cleanse up, so really should have just gone back to turret. Knowing that they were at Dragon, it's super unfortunate. And I feel like, you know, for every good play that ReDefy has made... Oh, no.
Hot S'mores, that is not appropriate. Under turret, suppression, impale. You got that Dawning Shadow, but is that going to save the day? Not quite. Fox here picks that one up in the face of a massive turret shot, but still, that gives them full pressure and turret plate advantage here in the bot lane. Pretty much first turret, too.
And beautiful dive from Degenerate Esports. We haven't seen a lot of that being set up on both sides of the team. We did see that one dive in game 1 where they 5-man botted on Varus and Rel. But other than that, not a lot of dives coming out. Good situational awareness from Hot Sports, able to recognize that, hey, Darius is by himself in the bot lane. I have my abduction. I have all my stuns. We have Braum. Like, this guy is walking in for free. He's walking to his death. And now this Darius is put really far behind, right? Almost 50 CS down from his counterpart. Vlad 100 CS up, 4 kills, is getting to that really strong, you know, Vlad that we know of. Buys the needlessly large rod right out the gate.
And you have to look back to this draft, and you have to question, was the first pick Darius worth it? It showed a little bit of advantage early, but that's because it was played around so almost into a terms of luck advantage on those rotations, but Vlad scales so much better, and into the face of Urgot, you don't even win that matchup as well. And now 40 CS up, 2 kills with the 1 assist, you know, plus advantage here onto Crimvale. It doesn't seem like the Darius is ever going to get a chance to shine. You have to question, was it worth it? Was it really worth it to first pick that one out there?
I mean, maybe they were trying to fake him out with the Darius top, flexing it mid, sounded like a good idea at first, but once the Vlad was locked in for Crimvale, I mean, I feel like that lane was done, set, and matched. I felt like LFQ Kitten had the right idea, roaming with his jungler, trying to punish this Hot S'mores, but Vlad was able to pick up that first blood, was able to pick up that return kill, and was able to pick up 2 more in the side of the bot lane fight, and was just able to really just get going. And then, like I said, accelerate normally what is a late game champion, so that only puts him that much more forward, and he's just one-shotting everybody, right?
There's that Rift Herald thrown into mid lane, almost a bit of a waste, if I would say so. I think it was put down, in fact, of a ward, but now Hot S'mores playing off that Impale, pulls back Gone, and that's an immediate flash response there, so they're not able to lock that one down. But a teleport from Danny Phantom, maybe a bit too late, but it still finds the knockup, but that's an immaculate flash from Fox Zero. Had that been any other timing, this team fight would have looked so different.
Yeah, now Adderall's left in the top lane again. This man is willing to push regardless of who is there. Has the teleport still up, is not going to burn it. Not as fast on this Urgot, and the first turret, obviously going down in the bot lane. They're just looking to get some more damage onto this mid lane turret. Yeah, really good flash by Fox Zero, and that's what we were kind of looking onto, right? As we see some aggression.
Yep, Danny Phantom here taken pretty low, and for Adderall being in a poor position, he still takes a big front of damage onto the Malphite himself. But either way, his team's there to support, so they're not going to be able to really find anything further.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're looking for, right? Fox Zero to flash these Malphite ultimates, but now, obviously, Malphite ultimate has a lower cooldown than Azuro's flash, so he's going to have to position a little bit better, and these Skarner ults have not been as good as I would like to have seen, right? He's just kind of pulling somebody for the sake of pulling them, not really seeing if he has any follow-up damage. Ash was getting zoned out by the Senna and the Darius on the top side, so was only able to pull Udyr, but then couldn't really get much out of it. So we're going to look for Hot S'mores to get a little bit more impactful on these abductions. Dragon is coming up in 30 seconds. He has the flash, he has the pull, but I believe that ReDefy Esports is playing pretty decently well around the Skarner.
Absolutely, and Hot S'mores didn't actually get the chance to shine on this Skarner into semifinals here against Degenerate Esports, and it actually did not look as great as it has been this game. And to be honest, he didn't do well in the jungle early, but level 6 Impale advantage is all he needs to do. And now Flute here, walking straight into a possible death push, but Crimvale's there, man. You do not follow that up with Crimvale standing nearby.
Yeah, waiting, trying to bait the engage out maybe, and looking for that huge hemo play. Cloud Drake is really good on the side of Degenerates Esports. Can get all their ultimates up faster. Ash's ultimate, Skarner's ultimate. Looks like they might just try to concede it. I would fight them if I was Degenerate here.
Yeah,
they're just grouped up, looking juicy.
Go for it. Hot S'mores is immediately on the take. Good response to get the immediate collapse there. He can't quite find the Impale, but when he does, it's too late, too soon. Ellis Love is low, but Crimvale with the response in his backline. Too hard. Flash forward for Adderall with the Fear Beyond Death for the double kill. Now Gone, trying to run away, but the concussive blows are a stacking. Stun out there, continuing the chase as Dragon is secured. More than likely, he'll be getting out of this one just fine, as he is an Udyr, but it's still fun to watch the Goose go honk honk.
Yeah, he's just running out of there, leaves his team to die, says, you know what, I'm out of you guys aren't as quick as me, I'm going to leave. But beautiful Fear Beyond Death and teleport from Adderall. I know that you mentioned we meme up his TPing, but really playing for the team here and really able to pick up 3 kills in this bot river fight for the Dragon. And now Degenerates Reform is pushing Soul Point at about 23 minutes. So really early Soul Point. Cloud Drake is immensely useful on everybody, right? Fox Zero, Skarner, of course, can pull you back even farther. Even Adderall, to some extent, can kind of look to, doesn't have to burn his flash when he gets to Fear Beyond Death. Crimvale going to get a lot of value out of it, can W in after his R and get a lot of the Hemo Plague stacks and extra % damage on. So, Cloud Drake obviously gets memed on, probably not the best soul, but in this case, it's very useful.
Still very useful,
all the champions. Yeah.
Oh, MB Gone here taking advantage of that blue buff, but still, no, he doesn't find it. It goes over to Hot S'mores. He gets off a good smite a little bit too early from Gone there. That's gotta feel bad, man.
Yeah, and it feels like last series it was the sacrifice for Dragon for Degenerates Reform, and this series it's the Crimvale blue buff steal. This man always wants blue buff, even if he's playing a resourceless champion. He just wants blue buff all the time.
Hey man, denying blue buff puts your mid laner back, and I laugh because it's Cute Kitten on Darius of all things, and that doesn't feel like it really matches the statement, but either way, it still is apparent, so he still takes that resource advantage. Crimvale actually on the side going for the split with a trade of Adderall into the mid lane? What is this? On to Gone he goes, slowing this one out, turns his attention to the red buff. You've got S'mores, you've got Fox here. It's the 4-man. They're able to get the double buffs onto Hot S'mores, and there's the attention into the cleanse, straight into the Impale to pull Love back out. Immediate kill there onto LSD Love, and now they're free to continue the push wherever they want.
And where did he go? Love, I don't see him. Put a missing child poster. Get this man America's Most Wanted. Man, Hot S'mores is abducting people. He's getting played left and right, and now the Rift Herald's gonna come up. Dragon's up in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. A lot of this standing gold is gonna be taken out. They're gonna look to reset after they can get the second, possibly third push. We'll see.
Wow. They could possibly rotate it down. No, they're going to let that one die. Sadly, no triple turret for them this time around, but still, the double into the mid lane, that opens up the whole side of the jungle here now for Degenerates Reform. You bet they're going to use it.
Yeah, and take a peek at Crimvel's items. That is one scary Vlad. You tab to that Night Harvester, Death Cap. Oh man, and a 9-stack Dark Seal. Will maybe look to go into a Magi's. We'll see, depending on this next fight. But man, that guy is scary. Level 13 to level 10, man.
Absolutely a complete dominance in terms of the XP lead, and Cute Kid takes it back. Chemo Plague. Pool immediately used out here. We do have a bit of a rotation from Phantom. He's still in the turret, taking those shots. Immediate unstoppable force knockup to start this one out. Minder, he doesn't have Pool though. Can he get that enchanted Q off? Not quite. Shut down in the face of Phantom and Kitten there just before he's able to get his heal off.
Danny Phantom getting the shutdown. He's only going to get tanky. I would have loved to see that go on to the Darius to kind of get him back into this game. It'll be fine though. Crimvale will be back up for this Dragon. I think he kind of uses Hemoplague a little preemptively. I would have loved to see him kind of hold on to it. Maybe thinking he could kill the Darius under turret. Very good job on Q Kitten to bait out the pool and then having Danny Phantom rotate down an ultimate. You know, that's a one-man Malphite ultimate. It'll be up before the Dragon though. So really good play, really good shutdown, and I think Degenerates Reform is feeling themselves a little bit too much right now.
Yeah, if you're going to play a solo lane out on the side for a split, leave it to Adderall. All right, Crimvale, we know your job at this point. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, you got a team fight, you got a group. Leave the man pushing the turrets to this guy on our screen right now. Has been playing exceptionally well on this screen, especially well this series, right? Really been the rock and really, got the game 1 victory. Was able to have such an impactful, champion on the Cho'Gath, was getting beautiful ruptures, beautiful silences, and now just doing his job on Urgot, getting these 3 to 4 man Fear Beyond Deaths into the CC and just stuffing out ReDefy Esports' cooldowns, abilities, DPS, and just doing an exceptional job.
Absolutely. Send him to the top lane, he'll send you a postcard. That's what I say. In this game, he's the hand delivering it, okay? The mailman is on the scene. Either way here, Dragon is now up just 1 second away, and ReDefy.
Are they going for this Baron? They don't take it fast enough. They have Senna.
Not even close to fast enough. They just completely gave up Soul, and they might be thinking it might not be of use, but let me tell you, that is a huge disadvantage to them as a whole here.
It's going to be really scary when Skarner ults and you're gone. You are gone. It's not even like you're a little bit away. You're going to be so far away from your team, they'll file a missing persons report, my guy. Like, that's how far they're gonna go. Let's see. We're gonna see the power of this Skarner Cloud Soul. I want to see this guy zoom in.
Well, you're going to first see Crimvale deep into that backline, onto Love there, deep with the pull. He continues forward, the chase out, stunned out. He is taken out by the center, but the response from Fox here on the side now as he continues with that enchanted crystal straight into the base of Gone. The concussive stacking up as he gets the initial kill, turns his attention to Lemon Stone. He is going to be rooted out on the side, but he still finds the double into Phantom. That concussive blow continues to stack up. It's going to be Flute Loop that finds the response. 4 members down here for the side of ReDefy Unleashed. The advantage still massively in favor of Degenerates Reformed.
And I would love to see them go turn their attention to this Baron. Man, Hot S'mores trying to push this top lane. Skarner, my guy, you do not push that fast enough. Go to the Baron, secure it, and close this game out like I know you guys can. Really well played. Even when Vladimir went down, the positioning from Fox Zero, the absolute tankiness from Adderall, just able to dish out all this damage. I mean, they won the fight even though their main damage dealer was down, their most fed person, and Fox Zero really showing up big.
Absolutely. So finally, the Ashe pays her duties. She's shown up. She's pressuring it out to the day here, and the Baron is secure here with the Soul on top of it. What else could be going better here for Degenerates Reformed into their 3rd game?
Yeah, I mean, looks like they're gonna close it out very standardly. Obviously, ReDefy does still have a chance. They can flip the Elder. Their champions are pretty good. Senna can scale. You know, Malphite can get really tanky. We'll see if they can try to look for a pick, but this Vlad is looking very scary. Ashe now on her Runan's Kraken Slayer with the BF sword as well. And now Skarner building up the Chem Tank, getting into his more speedy items. This game looks a little bit grim for ReDefy, but we'll see what they can do as they still look to make a play.
They're trying. There's a massive knockup engage with the power there. Hemoplague shut out in response. Hotspurs is on the side there, but he doesn't go in for the hard engage as of yet. But wow, they really wasted so much trying to find their way onto Crimvale. And now Hotspurs screens away into the hands. Danny Phantom taken out. Kill onto the belt here of Adderall. And now with Baron Buff, they're going to continue to walk this down.
Do we see the end here, or will they go into the bot lane? Will they go to the top lane? They don't have any lanes pushing. They might look for the end here. Oh, the Shadow does come out.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow into the Fear Beyond Depth. Knock up to follow through as well. Gone. Double two for themselves. They turn their attention to the Nexus turrets. LSD Love and Lemisota trying to front this one back, but it's all said and done. They don't even try to contest this one out. After placing 6th seed in Light League and facing their way through the gauntlet, Degenerates Reformed are your Light League champions.
And I told you, Zephyr, I'm a man of conviction. What did I predict? I predicted 3-0 for Degenerate Reformed. I was the only one that believed. You know, call me Nostradamus. Call me the best color caster at Light League has ever had.
Might just be, but I won't want to give it to you yet. ReDefy was so close, man, into every game. They were so equivalent at times, and it just slipped piece by piece, and I felt like as we got towards that third game, it was looking worse and worse for them. Mad props to Degenerates Reformed. I cannot believe the absolute narrative of this team. We're talking starting off the season in such a terrible form, making their way to just the barely last position, beating out Merciless for that 6th spot into playoffs, and then making the miracle run, baby. Making it all the way to finals and taking it in a daunting fashion. 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0 in a daunting fashion for sure, but very convincing in games 2 and 3. Game 1 just looked like it broke the mental of ReDefy. Degenerates Esports was able to get these leads early. And really the name of this game was just, for every play that ReDefy did, it felt like Degenerates always had some sort of answer, and most of the time it was just better, right? Inhib in the top lane, you know, Shen using Stand United. Okay, I'm just gonna take your whole base. Okay, we're going to go first drag. If you're going to gank our top laner, if you're going to go and bully him, we're going to take first drag. We're going to stack these dragons. We're going to force you to come to us into our team fight compositions. And Degenerates Reforms just looked like they played to their win conditions so well.
Oh, absolutely. Through and through, these guys drafted perfectly into each and every single game. They played to their strengths with a massive lead on Adderall every time. Support from Fox Zero being an incredible AD carry into Crimvale with his burst match. You have S'mores with the engage, and Flute Loops being Flute Loops. Of course, you know, we don't need to talk about any further in that regard, but through and through, this team deserves to be where they are at. They've proven it time and time again, and tonight is no exception.
Yeah, a true Cinderella story, beating their sister team, beating the #1 seed, you know, going 5 games with both of these guys. And, you know, I felt it. They were able to go 5 games with two of the top teams in the league. You know, this 3-0 was imminent. Degenerates Esports Reform doing really good. ReDefy, no slouch, putting up a good game 1, a close game 2, but it just felt like their drafts were very lackluster. They were going down. They were trying to get too cute. They were going down the magician's hat, and they were not able to pull up the rabbit. Instead, they pull up a fat, stinking pile of poo.
Well, I think I have something, a treat, a surprise here. We are going to be going to an interview with, I would personally, if we'll pick an MVP first. If you want to go into it, I think we both have our answer for who definitely deserves. Oh,
do we?
Come on.
It's definitely Adderall, right?
It's definitely Adderall, baby.
It's definitely Adderall.
All right. But we're not going to just do an interview with Adderall. All right. I think it's special. It's final season, baby. We need to talk to the whole team. We need to talk to everybody in Degenerates Reform. Get the full picture. So welcoming them to the desk one at a time. Adderall, Crimvale, Flute Loops, Fox Zero, and of course, the Silent Owl, my main man Hot S'mores, all of them coming through. Congratulations tonight, boys, on an incredible victory and taking Light League Finals.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, okay. So I got some questions for you guys. You guys, the number 6 seed. Odds are stacked against you guys. You guys are going against your sister team in the semifinals and the quarterfinals. You're going against a very stacked, roster. These guys are good. What is your mentality? What is your mindset coming in and facing ReDefy, who has also beat some really good teams, right? They were higher seeded than you. I mean, did you think this was going to be an easy 3-0? I mean, I called it, not going to say anything, but, did you think that, this was going to be a tough match? Were you expecting to go 5 games? I mean, what is the mentality coming into something like this after those 2 quarterfinals and semifinals matches?
Well, if I may answer first, the one thing, yes, the one thing I absolutely predicted was that Flute would not get Thresh. Like any of these games, I was like, if they leave Thresh open, like this is a win trade. So that's the only thing I predicted. Other than that, like 3-0, like I wouldn't say all that. Like I was pretty confident coming into it, but hey, if Europe can get out of the Dark Ages from the Black Plague and nearly escape extinction, we could get out of 6th seed and win finals.
So, kind of, taking it back here, you guys start out the season in the worst possible way. I mean, it is absolutely the worst thing you could ever do here. You surrender 0-4. You have to forfeit your first games. I remember meeting all that night. I was supposed to cast FSU versus Degenerates Reform to start the season off. You were our first game on broadcast. You guys have to start off with a 0-4 surrender. What's the mindset going into the league as a whole there?
There's only one way from here up. From the bottom of the standings, like we can only go up. So.
And I have a question. You guys had a little bit of a rotating roster. Adderall coming in. I believe it's only been 2 weeks now since he's been screaming and playing with the team, right? Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I mean, how does that affect your synergy? Adderall just looks like this guy who performed exceptionally well, as the MVP in my opinion of this series. He kind of just plays to the top lane. I know we meme it up a little bit on cast, me and Zephyr, but this guy just really loves pushing down turrets. Like, what is that, Adderall? I want you to answer first.
I like to play around macro. I think that other teams don't know how to do it at a low level, so it's just really easy to split push and catch the other top laner kind of out of positions. And that's just what I do.
And what was your heart beating? Was your adrenaline pumping? Were you clutching your butt cheeks?
Game 1.
What was that? Tell me, what is the mindset? What are you telling your team in that heated moment? Can you repeat the voice comms to me?
Yeah, game 1, it was like just literally hold them there. Shen can't 1v1 me. Just team fight him and try not to die. That was my comms the whole game. And then we just ran it down and won the game, I guess. That was crazy.
Walk around and try not to die while he pushes will win.
You guys don't even have to take the 4v5. Just give me time, and time they did give. And that was an incredible moment, and it really started out the series in such an incredible fashion. But kind of moving on here, Crimvale, buddy. You've shown an impressive lead this entire season, making your daunting kind of set here in the mid lane as being someone who's a bit more blasty. I wouldn't even say coin flip, but it can definitely be a concern sometimes. What's your mentality coming in, being the front for this team, going in hard, being that Silas, being that Vlad, in the back, coming in with the strength sometimes?
Well, I just like to play aggressive. In the team comms, I will always tell them I'm going in, and they follow me.
Do they always follow you? I don't think that is.
Not always. But when they do follow, it's an ace.
Yeah, okay.
And really, going into this game, me and Zephyr were chatting it up. We were chopping it up. We were saying, what? The major storyline for this is whose bot lane really wins. And, no offense, Fox Zero and Fruit Loops, you guys didn't really, show up game 1, the Varus pick and everything like that. But, what was the idea going behind game 2 with the Vayne and just being the main carry for that? You pretty much blinded Vayne into 2 champions. Did you just know that you have the advantage matchup against this Kai'Sa? You never really took the Kai'Sa. You never really took the more higher tier ADCs. Is Vayne just something that you think you can have more of an impact on? Is it a comfort? What is it?
Okay, well, here's the 5D chess. Okay, first of all, Vayne is absolutely comfort, my most played champion. Second of all, the 5D chess is we banned Tristana, who's better Kai'Sa, and I knew that they would pick Kai'Sa because they picked him the last series. and Vayne is good into Kai'Sa. So I was like, I'm just gonna pick Vayne here. Like I'm gonna let them have Kai'Sa. I'm gonna bait them into picking it. I'm just gonna pick Vayne and I'll scale. So and that's exactly what I did. We just farmed in bot lane until it was my turn to team fight.
And then you just kind of took over. And you know, I want to go into the prep for ReDefy. Like, did you guys prep a lot? Were you guys reviewing VODs? Do you guys have like an unsung analyst, a coach, or is it just you 5 dudes, you know, looking at videos and going, you know, these guys are inting here. These guys are inting here. Well, how does it go?
We do have our sub Heartstuck, you know, Coach Heartstuck. That's more of a meme, but I mean, we watched the other semifinals on last Thursday. That was like the only like team prep we did. I mean, me individually for every team, I look at their OPs, I look at their match history, and I see what champions they're likely to pick, and then I draft based around that and like based around our comfort and like how we want to approach the game and stuff like that.
Okay, so you would say you're the more captain role of this team, Fox Zero?
No, he literally is the captain.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So you control draft. Do you pick the champion?
100% control draft.
No, okay. So you let Adderall just pick whatever he wants.
Yeah, I help with draft. Come on. Dude.
No, literally, no one knows how to play against Yorick. So I'm like, yo, blind Yorick. He's like, yeah.
We blinded Yorick. I'm like, they disrespected the Yorick. Like they didn't ban it. I was hoping they would.
Well, we got to see it show up, and honestly, I wouldn't have had it any other way. I needed the Yorick tonight, and especially in that game 1 fashion, there's no better way. Anyone who hasn't seen it, if you guys watching or just tuning into these last couple games here, you did not get to see the absolute domination from Adderall on that Yorick, please go back. Please watch the VOD. It's something that you will literally get off to in the middle of the night, and I can promise that through here. But to kind of finish up, is there any shout-outs that Degenerates Reforms want to give out here to Light League, maybe as a whole, to other teams, to yourself if you want to at that point? I don't know. Anything?
I'll go first, I guess. Shouts out to Jake, the man, the myth, legend. Never met him, but thanks for hosting excellency, I guess. Shout out to Bixis for making me captain. And shout out to Evan for tolerating me learning draft for like a whole month, you know, helping me with scrims and stuff like that. Or not Evan, Burdenhell. I just dropped his real name. Oh well. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much my shoutouts.
I want to shout out Sovereign for duo queuing with me when Fox doesn't want to.
What do you mean?
Too busy for me working out or drinking chocolate milk or whatever. Shout out to Sovereign.
Krim,
Arrow?
I'll give a shout out to our coach Heartstuck for the Game 5 buffs. He doesn't lose Game 5s.
True.
It was Game 3.
Undefeated in Game 5s, honestly.
Oh, true. Hopefully.
Shout out to everyone in Degenerates and Burn in Hell who invited me to be a sub for the top lane. I had a lot of fun. It was super fun. And then shout out to my friends in chat. Yeah.
Hot S'mores, you want to wrap this one up for us, baby?
Oh, shout out to Fox for letting me play. Yeah.
What does that mean? Is he not allowed to play?
Control his play.
What does that mean?
Zephyr. I got one final question. Am I seeing Degenerates Reformed back for Light League Season 3 or what?
Yeah. I mean,
run back with this roster?
I mean, I'm plat 465 LP, so probably mid league, but hey, I wish.
We'll see you there then. Okay, we'll break it out for later, and you guys can go up and butt heads with whoever wins mid league this Wednesday or tomorrow if you want to use that word instead. But once again, big congratulations. It's been an amazing run to watch you guys eep your way tack through tack back into it and all the way towards finals. So thank you once again for joining us at the desk, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, with all that being said, is there any last thoughts here before we close out Light League for the season, Pone?
You know, we really honor casting with you, Zephyr. You know, been really fun casting the semifinals with you, the finals with you. Really just interesting, you know, fun gameplay. Not the highest level, like you mentioned, but man, this is better macro than you're gonna get in your solo queue game. So really, I encourage everybody to watch the whole series, go through all of Light League, support XLNC, support my man Zephyr, Jake Kelton, yours truly, predicting the 3-0 from Degenerates Reform. Just saying. Anyways, shout outs to XLNC. Honestly, you guys having Zephyr and everybody, shout outs to the viewers. You guys really make this fun. I love the activity in your chat. I love everybody in there. I don't got anything else to say, Zephyr.
Okay, and then I'll take it away. Once again, thank you guys for all coming in, tuning through, and watching Light League as a whole. It was quite a mess to put this together in the hot fix for excellency, but it's been a journey and we've made it through. And next season, it's going to be that much better. If you want to show support, go ahead, subscribe, follow us, Twitter, YouTube, come through on Twitch here with the follow, maybe on Patreon if you really want to show us the love and give us that monthly subscription. But either way, we still love the support of you guys just coming out, chatting, viewing, and giving us the love every single week. We've got both mid-league and heavy league finals happening this Wednesday. Same time pre-show at the 6:30 Eastern start into what is this game's actually starting at 7 Eastern. So if you want to check out some higher level gameplay with some pre-shows and some awesome content, go show the support. We here at Excellency would absolutely love it. I would love it. I'm the broadcast coordinator for all these dang leagues. I would absolutely love you guys coming out. But either way, thank you for joining us here tonight. Hope you stay safe and have a good night.